How do you rank in AI search results? We're talking AI overviews, ChatGPT, replace any other AI tool out there. That's what we're going to talk about today. How are you, Linda?
Yeah, I'm good, Mobes. Nice to be back, hey?
Nice to be back. Our first episode of 2025. And what a great topic to start with.
Yeah, been a lot of online debate. You can see a lot of different thought leaders in the industry talking about this. We get asked this question all the time. So I'm keen to kind of delve into it, Mobes, and kind of unpack a lot of like what's out there at the moment, because you're hearing a lot of different things.
Yeah. So just to kind of give everyone a flavor of what we're talking about is, if you search in Google for anything, you'll notice this AI overview thing that comes up. So we're talking about that. So we are going to talk a lot about that, but a lot of what we talk about also applies to anything AI search related, whether you're using Perplexity or you're using ChatGPT, it applies to that. If you're listening, you don't need to see the video version of this, but if you do want to see the video version, redpandas.com.au/EP177. On my screen right now, I typed up HubSpot pricing. And of course, these are cherry-picked examples, but you can see Red Pandas comes up. Like we're even before the ads, which is really cool, right? It used to be ads and then everything else. But even before the ads, I can see an AI overview search result. And it says HubSpot pricing in Australia varies blah, blah, blah. And there's like 3 links to our website. Here's another one. This is a post I shared on LinkedIn. Who is the best HubSpot agency in Sydney? Now, this is a legit search in ChatGPT. It's not photoshopped, but obviously I'm cherry-picking it. It's a legit search. And it says several agencies, number 1, Red Pandas, and so on and so forth. So if that excites you, that's what we're talking about today. Let's briefly start with, Linda, like the debate, like, AI is killing SEO and what worked on SEO before, that doesn't work anymore. What are your thoughts on that before we get into the tactics?
I think that it does change how users are now interacting with search engines 100%. Like there's no denying that. Like when you've got a brand new feature, it's now in position 0 and the interface is different to what people are used to, then sure, people are going to be interacting with that information differently. So like if we go back to the AI overview in Google's SERP, you've got a paragraph text in there or you've got some dot points and then it's usually cherry picked from a few articles on the website where Google deems those articles as like really helpful information. And then you'll have those like link cards that then can link you back to the website.
Yeah.
So it is changing the way that users interact with the search results now because it's amalgamating a lot of different results and giving complex information from multiple sources in one answer. So for example, the multi-step kind of research process that you might go through where you'll need to ask one question and then another question to get your answer, it's merging all of that into one now. So people can find what they're after quicker.
Yeah.
We call it like a 0-click search where they don't actually need to click through and find the answer to something quite complex.
Yeah.
So like an example for that is, let's say Mobes, you're looking for a new yoga studio. So you're looking for a yoga studio, you want it in Granville because that's where you live. And you want, someone that has 4 stars plus, like Google reviews, and you want a free 7-day pass. You would have to individually click into all those things to figure that out. Whereas the summary now gives that all to you at once.
Yeah.
So it's changing the user behavior in that respect. But if we go back to the foundation of it, it's still pulling from good sources online.
100%. I think one of the things we're not going to do today is buy into that whole, the fear around or AI is killing SEO, because it's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not. Even with AI overviews, that it's new, but it's not. Like you and I were talking about this yesterday. Google has actually had AI for a really long time. Or what's actually happened is when ChatGPT came out, they had to kind of open up the hatches a little bit and let a lot of their AI features. But you've already seen it. Like the people also ask. I get different people also ask to you. And that is, if you've ever searched for something and it says, people often ask or also ask, that was AI as well.
Yeah.
So there was all this stuff that's already there. And I think we're talking about, this is a business podcast. It's not a podcast on unless you're, I was going to say how to make a blueberry cupcake, right? Maybe now you don't need to click into the search, but I'd argue you still probably would want to.
Yeah.
Like AI overviews will give you that now, tell you how to make that cupcake, but you're going to want to go into that source. So if it's intentional and commercial, people are going to click. And the example I shared on my screen a few minutes ago, it had 3-4 links. If they're interested in HubSpot Pricing Australia and they see it on our website, where are they going to go next?
Yeah.
It's very likely they'll go on our website. And if they don't, we can't control that.
Yeah, 100%. It's arguable that it's actually just going to bring more qualified people to your website.
Yeah.
Because they'll see the summary, they'll get that top end information. And then the people that are actually genuinely interested in reading more to be able to make an informed buying decision, they will click then onto your link like they would interact with normal search results.
Yeah.
And they'll want to learn more.
Do you want to add anything else to that, or do you want to get straight into how to actually rank for AI searches?
Yeah, I think let's get into it. Yeah, for sure. So how to rank for AI overview. The short end of it, Mobes, is do the exact same thing you would be doing if you were trying to rank for normal organic results. It is no different. And I think that's the hard thing for people to wrap their minds around, because it looks and feels brand new and shiny. You think that there's a different method, but there's not. And if you go on any source online directly from Google, they're giving you the exact same recommendations as they would with normal organic rankings. I think Google Search Central says that following guidelines in its search essentials is enough for your site to be considered for inclusion in AI overviews.
Right. So if you're looking for some hack or some secret sauce, you're not going to get that. It's just do the thing.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds really underwhelming if you thought, okay, this podcast was about, and I'm sorry if it still seems like clickbait, but it's not. Like, you've got to do the thing. Now, there are some little things that Linda's going to share today that you can certainly do, but we'd argue that these are things you should be doing for SEO anyway.
Yeah.
So we didn't do anything special. Like, we come up for so many searches in ChatGPT, especially in Australia, so many searches for AI overview, but it's not like we optimized for AI. We've been doing the thing. What's the thing? When people have a question, we've been following They Ask You Answer, but when people have a question, a concern, we're creating content for that. And we're doing it on a regular basis. And we have been doing so for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. What the user wants, and then make sure that you're serving that purpose, because that's what the algorithm's trying to do anyway in the end of the day. It mimics human behavior. So when you know what your consumer is searching and what they want to know, you write about it in a really helpful, unbiased, educational way, because the algorithm's also trying to do the exact same thing as you.
Yeah.
In the end of the day. So the solution is the same. In terms of like how to rank, we always anchor it to the They Ask You Answer framework by Marcus Sheridan. We feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, Mobes, like ranking is like 90% content and then like 10% technical.
100%.
Different people have different opinions, but we've seen it work.
And every time we talk about this, I get a lot of abuse on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, and I don't care, but it's true. It's absolutely true. Like, we've had so many clients, either in Australia and America as well, where they actually, like, they will literally fail Google Core Web Vital scores, but they're doing 3 articles per week based on what you said, user intent. And that's enough. Right? That doesn't mean your website shouldn't be fast. Yes, it needs to be fast. It needs to have good user experience. There's on-site things you can do, but that's probably something you don't need to do all the time. And if it is part of your digital marketing, it should be a very small percentage.
Yeah.
So that's our first tip. Like, whether it's the Ask You Answer, it's great because that's a great framework, and frameworks are good because it gives you direction, but align with user intent. And then there's more specific things that, again, are really good for SEO in general, but work really well for AI as well.
Yeah. So AI, like the overview, has overtaken featured snippets, which is what we used to call like position 0, just a free pass right to the top. And there were tips and tricks to be able to rank for featured snippets, which we're trialing with the AI overview as well. So I'll share some of those Mobes. So what we would always recommend is, so with featured snippets, and it's the exact same as AI overview, it displays the information in a number of ways. So you can do a short paragraph of text. So let's say like 40 to 60 words.
Yep.
Have bulleted or numbered lists, and also videos and tables. All of those things are still showing up in AI overviews. The question should be in like a heading tag, like a H2 header, and then have that element, whether it's the paragraph, the bulleted lists, have it directly below that header. And then we would typically try and have that snippet in the top 1/3 of the article as opposed to right down the bottom.
Yeah.
That's how we've always tried to rank for featured snippets, and we've been successful with it because we're seeing the same sort of formatting, the same like AI overviews pulls information in a similar way.
Yeah.
I'd probably start there if you're like actively trying to rank for the AI overviews, but it's user intent. That's
and
the most
ironically,
important
it
thing.
helps the user too. Like if a user just wants to see a summary, like the stuff you're talking about, like, so you've got your article, but you'll have a short paragraph. You might have a table. You might have some dot points.
But can I say with that as well, the most important thing is intent. So you always have to marry that to how the user is best going to digest that information.
Right.
You know what I mean? If there's a lot of numbers, then sure, a table then makes sense rather than a paragraph that just has number after number.
Yeah. What's going to be the best
all
way
user
to
intent.
Yeah. Like for instance, on our website, we've got how much does HubSpot cost? There's a pricing table because it compares different options.
Yeah.
You know, that helps everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What else? What are some key ideas or tactics to help you rank for AI search results?
I think as well, when you're starting out on this, a really good tip is there's a feature in SEMrush. And
this is great.
Yeah, we've been playing with this, and it's probably good to see if you're already ranking for anything in the AI overview before you actively start to try. That way you can benchmark yourself. But there's a really cool feature in SEMrush. I don't think it's available on the free, only the paid plan. And it's under organic research. And you can basically see your current performance with AI overviews in the search results. So, i.e., what keywords and pages are ranking in the AI overview.
It's new and you tested this, so it's not.
Yeah, exactly. It's not 100% because we were able to see like half an hour ago that we were ranking for a HubSpot article still in AI overview, and it wasn't populating in SEMrush.
It's
so
not
it's
accurate,
not 100%.
Yeah, at least they have it. They're playing with it.
Yeah. But yeah, I would start there, like benchmark yourself. And then, of course, I'm always going to go towards like publishing amazing, helpful content to start with and do that consistently because the algorithm loves consistency. We try and post here three articles per week. Even if it's 2 articles per week, I think the important thing there is being consistent with it and having really helpful content that meets the user intent. Outside of that, you've got all your basic like SEO things, like add your keywords, your main keywords early on in your content, you know, unique titles, descriptions, optimize your title tags, your meta descriptions, all the basic like technical SEO stuff. But like I said earlier, in my honest opinion, I feel like that takes 10% of the total, opportunity when trying to rank on search engines.
We were talking about this yesterday as well, Linda, right? Like, if you follow the Ask Your Answer, that's like the biggest hack. But, you know, the way you write articles, right? You had a good example, you know, it's not like, what was it? Like we got an award for something, you know, you like.
Oh, okay. Like introducing our new CEO. Here's an interview on what they like to do in their spare time. And
fine, maybe there's a place for that for shareholders and whatnot, but that's not the stuff that's going to help you. Like if you look at a lot of our articles, you know, a lot of them they're not always questions, but you know, what tool makes AI text undetectable? What is the average lead close rate for B2C and B2B in Australia, right? How to send a one-to-one video in your sales proposals. Like a lot of them, you'll find they're questions or they're like things that people are asking. So when we talk about user intent, that's exactly what we're talking about. So whether you have it in the H1, it's really, really good. Then, you know, if I understand correctly, Linda, what you're saying, in the headers, if you can also have, or H2s, the smaller headings in an article, you have it there. Use dot points, use summaries. It's great for the user. And think about it this way too. I really like what you said too. You said specifically have those summaries in the top 1/3, which is I think is a very important detail because when AI is trawling and searching, what do you think it's doing? Make AI's job easier. It's trying to give people answers at lightning speed.
Yeah.
Right? It can't read your whole article. It doesn't give a damn about your article.
It's just like we say, like front load your keywords in your meta description.
Yeah.
Like, you know, meta descriptions, you get 155 characters, potentially up to 300. No one knows, like it cuts it off however it likes. You don't get to dictate how long it is.
Yeah.
So why would you leave your keywords and your important information at the end, which might even get cut off? If you can front load your keywords, you know that they're going to be in your meta description. And they're also hopefully going to align with the keywords that the user has searched. So you're more likely to then be clickable at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What else? Any other 2-3 key tips you think that are, you know, specifically for AI search results will help?
No, I think like for me, it's create amazing content and you're going to be on the right path. I think if you can optimize your content so that it suits what the user is actively searching for and you can create a great user experience, those two things are the most important thing that Google cares about when it comes to like any sort of ranking. User experience and also matching the user intent.
Ironically, it's not even ironically, as a byproduct, if you're focusing on the user experience, like you say, and making the content skimmable, that is going to make it easier for AI as well.
Yeah.
So if a human can skim, right, and like, okay, cool, okay, this is the topic, here's the subtopics. What are we doing when we're skimming? We're looking at dot points, we're looking at subheadings, we're looking at visuals, tables, and things like that. That's going to make AI's job a whole lot easier. But you got to start with the thing. You got to do the articles first. And hey, if these, by the way, this part is actually the easy part. Doing the content is the trickier part, or the habit that needs to be maintained. Then you can use AI to get little dot point summaries and throw that in your articles.
Yeah, 100%. I like that. Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like when they first rolled it out to Australia, I think from what I was seeing from Google, they were saying that it was in a lot of search results and they scaled it too quickly.
Yeah.
And it was appearing for a lot of results and then they've scaled it right back and they're still testing it. So it's still early days and like what we're saying now will probably change and evolve over time. But right now, as it stands, just keep trying to rank organically and you'll rank for AI at the same time.
And that's what you got to do, focus on the basics.
Yeah.
Thanks, Linda. That was a great episode to start with. And we'll join you again for another episode of Inbound Buzz.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening to Inbound Buzz. Learn anything? Return the favor by spreading the word. Want to make your mark in digital? Need help with your digital strategy, inbound, and marketing automation efforts? Then visit redpandas.com.au and be sure to tune in next time for another Inbound Buzz hit.